the unusual shape of the Hyundai Veloster. And why do I say unusual? Because take a look. You can see there's a back door on the passenger side, coming around of course, and let's just take a look at the boot as well. But keep in mind that back door, because with a nice sized boot for the family, which includes of course 50/50 fold down back seats, you come around to the driver's side over here and you'll see there's no back door. So what is this? Is this a family hatch? Is it a coupe? Or what exactly would you call it? The particular version we're driving today, and you can see here, those two central exhausts mean something. And they mean something very, very specific. Because that says turbo version. The difference between the standard and the turbo is that the standard puts out 117 kilowatts, the turbo puts out 150 and 265 newton meters of torque. So you got a lot more power, a lot more oomph. Not quite a hot hatch because there's so many others around these days with even more power than this, but it certainly is a very warm hatch. Behind the wheel of the Veloster Turbo, you can see it's a pretty comfortable place to be. You've got, of course, full instrumentation right in front of you with your computer readout over there. And just while we're showing you the steering wheel, of course, you do have the flappy paddles which operate the gearbox, which we'll come to in a moment. You do have on your steering wheel, of course, all your controls for your cruise control, your computer on this side, and on this side over here, your infotainment system and telephone with Bluetooth, which works extremely well as well on that one. So you've got all of those over here. Coming across to the center, you've got a nice little touch screen over here. You can see very simple to operate, nice neat touch screen, which of course includes full multimedia and also the Bluetooth telephone system. Got my phone to link. For me, that's quite an achievement, and it works very, very well. Coming down the center console over here, the engine stop-start button over there, which is a feature which is becoming more and more popular. Nice little feature on any sportier car. Below that, you do have your USB port and your 12-volt power socket over there. So very neat, very compact and useful to use. Down to the gear shift, of course. This is a dual clutch 7-speed transmission. Very, very smooth, very comfortable to use, and in normal cruising you certainly don't feel the shifts. They're there, you can use them if you want. When you come down, of course, through the gearbox, what you do is over here, if you're wanting to play and if you're in the twisties maybe, you just slip it across to DS or Drive Sport, and that brings those flappy paddles I mentioned just now into play, and you can shift up and down the box at will using those pedals. Very, very nice and very good fun to use as well. Cup holders over here. You've got your pretty much standard these days armrest with, of course, dual level storage compartment as well. Quite nice and quite convenient to use. All very nice, very, very comfortable for driver and front passenger. I need to jump across. Let's see what it's like in the back seat. Climbing into the back of the Veloster Turbo, you can see, okay, the inconvenience of having to go around the other side because of the single door, but how often do you worry about that? The seats are pretty much set as I would use them when I'm driving. Lots of legroom for me, very comfortable, no issues whatsoever for me to sit in the back over here. And yes, even in the low coupe lines, I'm still okay with my hat on in the back. Definitely only a two-seater, of course, as you can see. So let's sum it up overall. Price of the turbo version with the 7-speed DCT clutch, 407,000 rand. There are other warmer or hotter hatches available at similar money or more, but they don't all offer the convenience and ease of driving of a dual clutch transmission, so you've got to take that into account. The other thing is to look at the fact I've driven the car for a week, through the twisties, enjoyed the power, enjoyed the turbo, there's no doubt, averaging 9.8 litres per 100 for the period that I've driven the car. Good fun, good enjoyable car, something different. I love being in a slightly different car, so of course that very much appeals to me as well. One last feature just to point out, it does have a nice panoramic sunroof which opens partially and which also has the blind that goes across it, which certainly brightens up the interior of the car if that's what you want as well. Overall, definitely one of the shortlist you have to look at when you're looking for a slightly different but nice, adequate, more than adequate performance car, as I said, with the ease and convenience of a dual clutch transmission.